there guys, been a long while since I've gone live, but I figure since this project's going to take forever, I'd give you a good sneak peek. Let's see, where's my head sock thing? Of course I don't know where it is. But I suppose it'll give people a chance to come in. Huh. Should be right here. Huh. Can't exactly put it on if I don't have the damn head sock. Where would I have put it? Let's get the comments going too, just for fun. Come on. Can't be on a lot today. I have a lot of other things to do as well, so I'm just gonna show you guys what I'm up to, maybe work on it a tiny bit, and then I gotta get back to what I was doing before. Alright, there's the comments. Oh, come on. Could have sworn it was like right here. Don't tell me I left it somewhere else. Oh, man. Hope you guys don't mind. I will be right back. I just gotta run in and make sure that it's not inside the house. Come on. Yep. Nope. Nope. That's not it. Alright, be right back. Well, this is highly embarrassing. I get started on the live and now I can't find the damn Brian King. Oh man, I forgot to let you know I was going live. Oh, man, I can't seem to find it. Anymore. Where the hell did it go? Well, I guess I could just put the damn thing on without the headdress. Mini Garden, how's it going, man? Jacob, how's it going? Gemstone thumbs up. Oh, nice. Alright, let's see if I can't put this thing on without having a headdress. Oh my gosh. It's right here. Okay, let's see what this thing looks like. I guess you saw the thumbnail, so maybe you haven't, or maybe you've seen it now, so that's okay. Sitting there looking for this darn headdress, or sorry, head sock thing, and alright. Take a look at that. Woo! Big boy. Yeet. Some antlers there. I've already done some of the top, a little bit of the back, but this is pretty much what I've been working on. And going to cover the whole thing up with this wire here. Let's see if I can get these comments up. There we go. So I was thinking I might do a crowned headdress mask, but as soon as I got done with the antlers, they were so big. I was like, crap, what am I going to do with these? Holy shit. And I couldn't really figure out what I was going to do, because each of these antlers is 15 wires. And I was trying to figure out what the hell I was going to do with 30 wires on top of my head. And then I looked up to the ceiling over there where this thing, this bottom part was hanging, and I was like, you know what, that is just perfect. It's all I needed to get this thing going again. And now I've got the project back underway, and I'll just have to do a crowned headdress mask at a later date. I have, oh shit, I put this thing down without it falling. I made this thing a little while before, and so this is going to be something of a crown when it's done. Thanks, man. Jacob and Pranking. And so whenever I figure out what I'm going to do with this thing, if it's not already done, maybe it's already done. Only trouble is it catches the hair really bad, so I got to figure out some way to mount it without it catching people's hair. So that'll be another project for a later date. But another one that you guys may have already seen from the other video is this bad boy here. Check that out. Oh man. Boom. That one's really cool in there. I call it the Reaper, and it's actually an add-on to an old project, my more formal headdress, and so it is repurposed into a mask. So let's take a look at the. Just made a silicone molds for the leg parts. Oh shit, man! First set of wow, it's actually quite hard to read in this thing. Epoxy resin parts, so we'll know by morning how it turns out. Hell yeah! I can see fairly well. I can see well enough to dance, but as you can see, I'm actually having kind of a little bit of trouble reading the text. If I maybe did the wires a bit here, but it will be it's definitely more than enough to walk and dance in. So you know, there's that. And so I'm really pleased with this one here. I'm actually kind of hoping to make more that are as pretty as this one, because it covers the head and face fairly well. So let's take that one off and do another cursory glance at it there. I guess I can put it up to the screen there. There you go. So you can actually see pretty well through that in the there we go. I guess that eye is just a little bit more difficult to see through, but hey, you know, all you gotta do is wiggle your finger. Can you wiggle a finger? Hey, you can dance. But when you're at the club, it doesn't matter what you do. I wear a trench coat when I'm dancing, so most of my stuff is just swinging. Oh, goodness. And so to compare these to my other mask, let's check that one out. I know most of you guys know this one here. This bad boy. Oh, won't be able to stay on for very long today. I got a lot of other stuff to do before my landlady gets home. And where did I put my headdress? Or excuse me, head sock. You're kidding. Where did I put it? I lost it again. Oh, jeez. Okay. So we'll just kind of show off some of my older projects in comparison to this newest one. Here. Now, I actually have to wear this head sock. Need to jump in the shower. For sure, bro. Thanks for stopping by. I actually have to wear the head sock because these wires will catch all the hair. Face and head, all the hair. Mustache is the worst, or the lips is the worst, I should say. And so, this is the one I traditionally wear to the club. And so, when I go to the club next, I'll be wearing that bad boy. And see how people like it. But I haven't been to the club in a while. Then I have this one over here. Sucks that I spent the first minute or so freaking out over not knowing where my headdress was, or head sock I should say. So this one's my first wire mask, and I still really like it. It has a lot of character to it, that's for sure. Where it's very evil, I guess. So I was trying to come up with a name for my new one, and a friend of mine, who you guys probably know from a while back, but I won't mention her name, she likes her privacy. So we were riffing around with some ideas for a name for this particular one here. Oh, goodness. There we go. So we were riffing around, and she said something like Spirit of the Forest. That's a good one. I figured since it was like a knight's helmet, I could do something along the lines of, Knight of the Forest or something along those lines. And she suggested Knight of Okigahara. Okigahara. Yeah. So Knight of Okigahara is a forest that is well known for its high suicide rate, and she suggested I name it after that forest, being the Knight of Okigahara. Okigahara. Yeah. Very hard to pronounce, but I figured since that I'm not really tied to the forest, I didn't want to dishonor their deaths, or their lives, that is, by claiming to be their protector. So I figure Knight of the Forest would probably be just fine. And so I suppose I can stay on just a little bit longer, but I'm going to work on the mask while I am here. And let's say it's 8 o'clock now. I think about 8:30 I'll give it a rest and go do the rest of the stuff I need to do. Ooh, that's hot. I need to wash that thing. I'm gonna forget it up there. So let's move this. Move that. And move this. These antlers are really in the way. And I'll show you guys my process of covering this thing for anyone who hasn't seen how I do that. I don't think you can actually see a lot of how, it doesn't matter. Okay. Let's get a wire here. Got a little wire scrap. Maybe Maybe I'll push this thing up a bit. And I got my scrap bucket down there. The guest I had planned for Monday night decided he doesn't want any part. Aw, man. Yeah, I popped in a few times in your last few live streams, Branking. I just didn't want to show up because I figured it would probably disrupt everything that was going on, especially with POT in there. Yeah, I was surprised he's still around, but hey, you know, that's whatever. Maybe I'm still a little bitter for him doing a bogus copyright claim, but hey, that's life. I know that what was his name? Eric Brandt got arrested or something recently. Haven't really gotten into why or anything, but you know, that's the price for fighting for your rights. Wish it didn't happen, but hey. There. Gotta wipe the wire, because as you can see, it's wire is a little dirty. There we go. Let's see here. So what I'll have to do is I anchor it. Let's see if I can't. There we go. Take the wire. Actually, I'll anchor it on the other side because I know I have room here, but I don't know if I'll have room there. So I'll take that through there. Go around a couple times. The trouble with making these masks is that they're fairly one size, and so I kind of tried to make it to where you can actually make it a little bigger by leaving this part here out so that you can expand it if you needed to. Oh, okay. Same cycle it's been for months. Eric, Otto. Not sure of Otto. News now, Patrick? Wash, rinse, repeat. Oh, yeah. Got pinched. Oh, no. And, News now, Patrick nearly got pinched too, huh? Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I got out of it. Let me turn down the volume for me. It's probably repeating. Or echoing, I should say. There we go. So once I get that nice and anchored, I'm just gonna wiggle it until it breaks. Got a break there. Then I'll take the long process of feeding it through. Tell you, the antlers get in the way a lot. So, there we go. Pinch it. I'll even hold it in my mouth so that it doesn't get all over the place. And then just feed it through. And go through. Come on. Since I don't need to see through this part, I really want to make it thorough so you can't see through it. But yeah, I'm glad I got out of that scene. I think I learned all I really needed to learn, and didn't seem to be a good fit for me. Got to see a lot of my city, though. That was nice. Tell you who I want to meet one day is Rick from, well, he was Think Like a Cop. Now he's Good Luck America. Well, the way it's been, we are no longer seen as activists. As best, mild annoyance. Yeah. Now we're seen as flat-out domestic terror. Oh, gosh. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I recently discovered that even atheists, with their, vocal minority, is that they do a lot of the same sort of thing where they do kind of crazy things and even do kind of things that are counterproductive to our image. I don't necessarily agree with taking down religious monuments in public squares. I would like to see them gone, but I would also like to see them never show up. But once they're there, people get really upset when you try to take it away from them. So I really don't think that it's a very good idea to make people upset at us. Kumanina, how's it going? I don't think it's a good idea to make people upset with us. I think a good middle ground is to just simply put one of our own monuments, a secular monument, right next to it, or in the same park or whatever, just to kind of even things out. Because much in the same way when you try to take away flags, people get really upset, you know. Some people really like the let's say the Confederate flag or whatever, the Southern flag, if you want to call it that. And as soon as you give even the ounce of inclination that you're going to take it away, people hang on to it. Woo! It does not make them want to comply. It does not make them like you. It just makes them hate you. And so when you try to take like the blue line flag away, it does the same exact thing. It makes people hate you. It makes people forget anything that you have to say about your reasoning and makes them completely turned off to anything you want to say. So there's a balance between what you want and what they want without letting them trample all over you. And that's sort of the case. Now with auditing, of course, you're dealing with police, and that's arguably more of a challenge than dealing with the religious. As I've often said, I think that police is just another religion. I would just rather have police than roaming gangs. Understand the value of shock and awe. Oh good, I'm glad you're good. I understand the value of shock and awe, but I'll never agree with calling out harm to deaf people who's... Yeah, for sure. I agree. I think that in order for all of us to live on this planet together, we're going to have to find some common ground. I recently stopped liking the LGBT for the very same reason, is that their go-to thing is just calling people homophobic or transphobic or racist or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, that's not an argument. You don't look good. You look bad. You look like whiny babies with a violent tendency when you don't get your own way. When in reality, we got our rights. You know, we got our equal rights. You are not allowed to discriminate against a person based on their sexual orientation. And I mean in the sense of turning away somebody for medical care and a job. Now you might not get the job for other reasons, but what are you gonna do, right? Somebody doesn't want to give you a job because you're gay. Well, why do you want to work for them if that's their stance, you know? So I think people got to find a little bit of reasonable reactions to their being discriminated against. I applied for a job, and the owner is a friend, and she straight up told me I didn't get the job because I have HIV. And so what am I gonna do about that? You know, it's not like the job was any kind of risk for spreading it. So it was really unreasonable, and she just didn't seem like she was gonna fight for me. She was just gonna go with what her hiring manager said. So I just pulled all my art out of her store and just said, I'm never coming back. I didn't say that to her. I just, told myself I'm not going back. It's fine. they want to do that, that's fine. Why would I want to work there if that's the attitude they're going to take? And it's not like I'm going to sue either. So, best thing to do is just move on. Find a different place that wants to hire you for your work ethic instead of your whatever. But then I've always been a pretty passive person when it comes to dealing with public people, dealing with the public. In reality, I'm pretty angry all the time, but I don't like to be angry all the time. Wanting to punish a cop that raped someone or tortured someone by tasing his, tasing your genitals. But saying kill a cop just for being a cop, yeah, for sure. And you'll have those people. Every group, every single group. Doesn't matter what it is. You'll always have people who are willing to be ignorant and call for violence when it's just the opposite that you need to do. That's why it's so difficult and so dangerous to be part of a group. Is that the group is only as good as its worst members, because they're the most vocal and they're gonna get the most attention. That's for sure. That's for sure. And oh, you know what else I didn't do? I didn't do my link to the Discord either. I guess there is a link there, it's just old. So if you can imagine how long this is taking, right? We came from, I'm gonna say, here, right, to here so far. So just that much so far, and I've only used one wire. I think one day I'm gonna have to start like measuring my wire before putting it on, so that I can give an estimate of how long, how many feet of wire is in each project. That'd be pretty cool. But since I have multiple thicknesses of wire, I can't just weigh it and make the determination then. Yeah, I definitely can't say that I was never somebody who called for you know, capital punishment just for being a cop. You know, like I said, I'm a pretty angry person, and it takes a lot to quell my anger and not seek out satisfaction of my vengeance. So, you know, at some point I was very anti-cop, anti-gun for cop, anti a lot of things, but I definitely would like to believe that I'm a little bit less that way. I was anti-cop, then I became pro-auditor, then I was, you know, neutral cop, pro-auditor, then I was neutral auditor, then I was anti-auditor, pro-cop, and then I was neutral cop, anti-auditor. Now I'm neutral auditor, neutral cop. You know, I'm pro-Constitution. I'll just say that. I think out of all the religions and ideas and all that we have in this country, there's one thing we could all agree on, and that's the Constitution. Unabridged Constitution. Like recently, I just discovered Vermont or somewhere is trying to ban cell phones for under 21, and it's just like, come on. More legislation does not solve problems. And they just recently did 21 and up for tobacco. You can, you know, fight and die for your country, but you can't smoke cigarettes or drink alcohol. That's silly. Of course, you know, people who are familiar with the military know that generals and sergeants are fairly lenient when it comes to appeasing their, you know, as long as you don't do it in front of them, they're going to look the other way, depending, of course, on the sergeant. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I like, he used to be called Think Like a Cop, but now he's called Good Luck America. I really like his stuff because, you know, he is hard on everyone, and he's very reasonable with his stuff. Still agree there is a problem and change is needed in certain methods used for recently. I agree. I would even go as far as saying that it's a never-ending battle. You know, and when the pendulum swings this way, the pendulum's going to swing right back in the other way. So, just like with marijuana being legalized, you know, we were thinking, awesome, this is great. You know, everybody's going to do well. But they just keep tacking on more and more other things to make it harder. You know, now it's more expensive to buy it legally than it is to buy it illegally. You know, and in some places you can't even have a gun if you apply for a marijuana card. So, you know, it's just one more thing after another. And that tobacco, 21 and up tobacco thing, was hidden inside of a budget. You know, when they did the budget thing and they passed that, and right at the last minute they stuck that in there, even though it had nothing to do with budget. Or spending, I think it was, and that's just how things go. Let's see, 8:19. I actually think I'm gonna have to get off here now. I gotta go finish doing what I was doing, and take care of a few things before I have to go to bed. So let's take a look at this thing one more time for everyone who's watching later, and then I can shut off the stream. Let me know down in the comments, guys, for anyone who is watching later, if you want to see me go live more often. I've kind of not been live in a while, mostly because it just, I guess I don't know if I lost interest or it just, you know, kind of stopped happening for whatever reason. But maybe I'll get back into going live every once in a while and whatnot. So let's take a look. There it is. So far the name is going to be Spirit of the Forest, or excuse me, Knight of the Forest, something along those lines. If you guys know or think of something better, that'd be awesome. And you know, when it's done, it'll all be covered in this, including the eyes and the mouth and stuff like that. And I will... Ken, what's up? And I will definitely consider the name. Got my chocolate milk. That was cool. Awesome. Thanks, man. Dry throat. But I'll see you guys later. I love you, and I will I'll be back again. Maybe this will spark a new interest in getting into going live and whatnot, but I definitely have to go. And I love you all, and I will see you guys in the next one. I guess TC means take care. For sure. Take it easy, Kumanina, Ken, Brian King. And, oh, 6 more. Wow, 6 people just jumped on. Sorry, guys. You'll have to check out the video. Yeah, it's just a couple minutes of me looking for the head sock thing. But I'll catch you guys in the next one.